Hey there, welcome back and thanks for joining me. All my supplies and equipment are down in the description box below, and most of them have links, so check that out. And if you like this video, hit that subscribe button. If you want to see future videos, hit that notification bell. Now, these are the colors that we're using. I've got the currant, the amethyst, and the aquamarine, and that's going to be our flower colors. And then I'm using the Pinata Blanco, and then I've got the Tim Holtz blowing tool. So that's my equipment, and I've got everybody introduced except for the leaves. I haven't done them yet. So what I'm doing is I'm putting a drop or possibly two of each of the colors. I'm doing a little triangle, and I'm going to move those colors around that triangle so they're not going to be in the same order every time. Then I'm putting 2 or 3 drops of the Blanco on there and just blowing it out, and it is so pretty. Yeah, you've got to try this. You've just got to try it. It is such a cool color, and the colors just morph around, and it's really cool. You remember when we were kids, those kaleidoscopes, and the colors changed and they stayed? That's what this is. I thought, oh, I'm going to name this tie-dye, and I'm like, no, it's a kaleidoscope. I was showing a client of mine, and we both at the same time thought, yep, that's what it is. So this is a kaleidoscope. I've just got to learn to look it up and see how to spell that. So as I'm working around, I really only put 4 big petals on here because of the amount of alcohol ink I'm putting down and the Blanco. There's a lot of liquid there. So it's not little petals that I'm blowing out. These are pretty big, and I just start on one side and work them all the way around, and you can see how the colors just change and you know, bleed into the next petal that comes along. So it is a pretty neat little thing. At this point, this is what I like. This is what I had in my head. Here in just a minute it goes way wrong, but yeah, I kept on. I don't like to stop in the middle. That's a lie. I will stop in the middle of a painting. I just prefer to not give up. And you never know. You just never know. When you do the next thing, it makes it all better. So I keep on. I'm going to go ahead and finish out the paper and see what we have. And to my surprise, it was a pretty cool little mistake. So, I chose colors wrong is what I did. I wanted to have something that didn't blend in with the flower, that stood out differently, like definitely a green for the leaf, but I wanted to stay with the idea of the colors mixing and having 2 or 3 colors. Now for the leaf, I'm using the bottle, the denim, and the dandelion. And so I thought, well, that's a blendable color. All those are kind of blendable, except for maybe the yellow, but yeah, I thought it'll be fine. And I think at this point I'm forgetting I'm trying to stay in camera. My house was noisy, and I knew that this was going to be a voiceover. So I kind of got lost and forgot really what I was doing. So yeah, some of this is off camera, but I am doing the same triangle thing. The first few, I put all 3 colors, and then I realized, well, blue and yellow make green, so I eliminated the green at some point. And then I just continue around the flower. And I mean, I like how it looks, but there's something about it that got lost. Not sure. Maybe it was the blue. Maybe I shouldn't have put the blue in there, but I did. And at this point, I think this is when I went, it's just not. But I kept on. So don't give up. You never know what lies in the next movement. I do eventually get you in frame where you can see. But it's the same movement. I mean, the whole thing is the same technique. And, you know, if nothing else, I got to practice the technique. But putting down the 3 drops, I say 3 drops, there's more like 2 of each. and then the bigger drops of the Blanco Blanco. There's a lot of liquid there to blow around. So that was good for me because I'd usually done smaller amounts. So this was pretty good. So I just continue around the paper, and I'm trying to strategically at this point put the leaves until I realize it's not happening. So I just start to fill up the whole paper. Yeah, if you're blowing this off your paper, you really need to put something under it because it gets messy and you're going to drag your good paper right through it. And it is pretty thick. I mean, it'll dry, but it's also not easy to clean up. I guess if you used acetone or something on the glass that I'm working on, but it doesn't come off easy like alcohol inks, and water doesn't really get it off either. So yeah, just go ahead and put another piece of paper underneath where you're blowing it off the paper. So from this point to the end of the video, I am just filling in the rest of the paper. I'm going along with the same technique we were doing for the flower and the leaves. I'm doing the whole row around the flower of the leaf color, and then whatever's left, I go back to the flower combination and I do that. So it looks like there's maybe 3 layers of color there. So I'm just going to let you watch, and I'll be back in a little bit. Now on this center, I was going to make a flower center, a little head of a flower. But what I decided to do, because I wanted to stay with the whole theme of this picture, is I put a few drops of the alcohol ink, the blue one. I put a couple drops of it, and then I put the white in it, and then held the blower directly over it and just squeezed a couple times to make it like starburst out. And that way it kind of stayed in the same idea as the whole picture, and it doesn't look odd. So that's what I did for the center. Okay, I think we are done. This has turned out a lot better than I thought it was going to. It's completely different than what I had in my mind. And so there we go. I hope this showed you a technique that you can have fun with. And once you learn a few techniques, you can go out there and create anything you want to and just have fun with it. So I hope this gave you some ideas, and y'all go have fun.